Welcome to Bitches in Season, a podcast for everyone who loves dogs,
all things agility, and some spicy tea. I'm Lizzie.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Lindsay.
Bitches in Season.
Hey, bitches!
Hi!
Welcome back to another fun episode of Bitches in Season.
Yay!
I'm really excited today because it's actually just us.
Yes.
Like, no jokes, no surprise. Yes, it's just a us yapping episode.
Yeah,
We
I
haven't
know.
had one of those in a while.
I know.
So it's nice to just like be the three of us and chat about whatever.
I know. Even just adding a fourth person, it's like, it's a lot of people to like hear everyone's voice and everything. And I know I never shut the fuck up. So there's that part.
True.
That's true.
But today we're going to have a good, juicy conversation. But before we do, we want to catch up. So we've been talking about how it's January and there's a lot of stupid snow on the ground and probably even more coming along. And we've been prioritizing self-care. So Rachel, what have we been doing?
We have been going to the gym. Unfortunately, Lizzie cannot be going to the gym.
No, I cannot be going to the gym.
But you go to a physical therapist, which is basically like going to the gym.
But I did get myself a treadmill.
Oh, true.
And you've been doing your Pelotonies?
Doing my treadmill, my Peloton, and my PT.
Okay, well then you're doing more than the rest of us.
I know, right? Yeah. Because this is my thought process. You guys are going to the gym, and I need to be stronger and better than both of you by the time I come back.
I just want to say that I'm the trendsetter because I joined the gym first.
That. I was literally going to say that.
I'm glad you said that because I told Josh, I was like, Rachel joined a gym because of me. He was like, you're a narcissist. I was like, I'm serious.
It's true. I was fucking jealous. I'm like, this bitch. But yeah, Lindsay's
we all motivated each other.
Yeah.
How about like shared accountability and motivation?
That's what it was. Like Lindsay was like texting at like 7 a.m. just got home from the gym. I'm like, fuck, I need to go to the gym. Like I haven't been in the gym in years. Like,
and I'm at PT on my little bike.
Yeah,
I'm
like I need to do something for myself.
Yeah,
and I found a gym that has classes because I'm not a self-motivator to like work out on my own.
I need someone to be telling me.
So I also started going to the gym at 6 a.m. in the morning, which like everyone needs to give me a round of applause because I love to sleep in. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm going on my third week of going to the gym.
This is my fourth week of going to the gym.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you guys.
I feel so great. I like get home. I have so much fucking energy.
I'm
so
much time.
Now I'm like, starving.
Yeah,
I hear
I'm hungry all the time.
I legitimately hear your stomach growling on the phone. We're like on the phone talking. I'm like, your stomach is so loud.
I know.
No, I'm so hungry.
Eat a meal.
You know, you got to take care of yourself when you're a dog girl. We take our dogs to rehab. We take our dogs to conditioning and training. And
look
then
what happened to me, guys. Yeah. Look what fucking happened to me.
We're getting older.
Oh my God. Don't be me. Don't be like, you just have a shitty ankle and then your shitty ankle fucking breaks.
So we started going to the gym. We also went to the Korean spa, which it was my second time going, as well as Lizzie's, but you've gone before.
Yeah, I've been a bunch of times.
It's like such an experience. I will note that like the first time we hung out with Lindsay and her other friends, like non-dog friends, we celebrated her birthday at the Korean spa, and I had no idea like going into it.
Also, like back up, this was when we first became friends.
Yeah,
and
we became friends in like September-ish. Yeah. And then my birthday's in February. Yeah. So it was like the first like, hey, do you want to come to my birthday? Oh, by the way, you have to be absolutely naked.
Yeah.
To the nothing and
Nada.
In front of me and all my friends.
Yeah, correct.
All my girlfriends. So that's something fun about the Korean spa is that you have to, if you're going to get a body scrub, you have to soak in a hot tub.
Or even if you want to be in the bathhouse.
Yeah,
like
if you want to go to the hot tub area or the certain like wet saunas, you have to be completely naked in that
completely naked.
And it sounds, I am not the type of person that's like going to just strip in front of anyone.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah. Lindsay and I are like, yeah, whatever.
Take it all off. I am not that type of person. I always have a little bit of nervous energy going there. But like once you're there and you're like, oh, everyone else is fucking doing it. Everyone's so comfortable in their body too. Yeah. Like it doesn't feel weird. Yeah. Like it feels normal.
I mean, and everybody is naked.
Fun experience.
Yeah. Everybody.
The first time I went by myself in Los Angeles to a Korean spa.
Like you would.
Yeah. It was so fun. And like it actually completely changed my feelings and relationship with being naked. Like I was just like, oh, everyone has a body and they all look quite different. Yeah. And almost none of them look like the ones we see on television.
Correct.
Unless there was like that one model looking
Oh
girl.
my God.
the-
She was, I legitimately had to explain her to Henry.
Oh, I
because
told
I
Josh
was like,
all about her.
I was like,
I was like,
never
I think
seen
she was
someone
perfect. I
more,
think she was AI.
Yeah.
But anyway,
More beautiful.
that's not
Yeah.
the point. The point is most people are just regular looking people like us.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel so comfortable. And like kids can go there and stuff. And it just makes me think like if you grew up in that culture and like going there, what would your relationship with your body be and your relationship with nudity and everything like that? So
it's
anyway.
so true.
And then they scrub you down and your skin feels like a newborn baby. And it's just like self-care. And then you get hard-boiled eggs that are actually baked in the sauna. And you just
so
like
good.
sit there in your little towel over your hair
such
and your
bonding
eye mask.
experience. Like we just yapped the whole time. You were there for hours. It was just fun.
Yeah.
And I love being in a hot tub.
Go to a Korean spa if you can.
Do it.
I was
do
actually
something
talking
new.
to my coworker and I was like, I went to a spa and I was like, it was a Korean spa. And she's like, oh, wait. She's like, are we recording? And I was like, no, not yet. And she's like, one of the ones you had to be naked. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I've been to them before. And I was like, oh my God.
I love
It's
them.
like, I love it.
It's like definitely a hidden secret. Although when we went, it was so busy.
It was so busy.
But anyway, that's what's up with us in life and dog stuff. It's like a slower time. I'm definitely preparing for tryouts at the end of February. I went out to Ohio and trained with Jen and a bunch of other girls who have Apex Shelties. And it was really fun. It was just like collaborative, like setting courses by the judges and just like giving each other feedback. And that was super fun. And then there's a bunch of ISC leading up to tryouts. So I'm super excited. I'm going to be really busy in February, and January is a good time to get ready for it.
Yeah. It's been kind of quiet for me and Chess. We've been taking a little bit of a break. We have NAC coming up at the end of March. So I am unfortunately doing some AKC trials, but I'm going in with the mindset that it's just prep for NAC and, you know, like getting her adjusted to the spacing, coming off of her break a little bit. And I'm not really looking to finish my mock, although it'd be nice, but it's not the goal. Are you
4 Qs away?
4. Just 4.
4 double Qs away.
Yeah,
wow.
4 double Qs. So, yeah, I have a couple that I signed up for, but I'm not like also killing myself with trials. So we're just doing what we want based on judges and locations. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice right now.
Well, we're supposed to do an AKC trial together this weekend.
I know.
But it's forecasted to snow like over a foot.
Yeah, so we might be, you know, scratching and just forfeiting our money, but we'll see. I'm not driving in a foot of fucking snow.
What did you do, Lizzie, recently with the guys?
We went to barn hunt and Obi got his senior barn hunt title with 20 seconds to spare.
He sure did.
So yay, Obi.
Yay.
Hates a tunnel in barn hunt, loves a tunnel in agility. And Cassie, I realized, hasn't done barn hunt in 2 years.
Oh, whoops.
And and then I just threw him into it and was like, here you go, bud, find the rats. And by the second run, he found the rats and then just wanted to keep looking for rats. And then like his brother didn't want to go in the fucking tunnel. So at least they like to find the rats.
And then you were supposed to go to a tunnel workshop for barn hunt.
And we got 11 fucking inches of snow and
oh my God.
Rachel was like, you should drive. And it's like near the Poconos, like driving to the mountains. Yeah. And Henry's like, you are not driving.
That's okay. I realized it was supposed to snow that much on Saturday
night was when it was snowing pretty heavily. And that's when I had my puppy swimming lesson. And Josh was like, you're not going. And I was like, well, yes, I am. And then he drove because he was like, at least if you're going to die, we'll die together.
Yeah, great. This was an hour and a half away. Yeah. So like,
I mean, I made Josh drive 45 minutes each way in the heaviest part of the snow on Sunday.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like coming down hard and Obi and I would have been stranded.
Just so Zinnia could have a 30-minute swimming lesson at 4 Paws Adrift. But it's worth it. She's such a good swimmer.
So we were supposed to do a tunnel seminar for barn hunt on Saturday, but fucking snow.
Yeah.
So,
we can do some private lessons together, though.
We are. Yeah. We're signed up to do some privates, and
that's
really all I can do right now, but it's fine. I'm fine.
Barn hunt is fun. And now you can do Friday night trials with me and Chess because you're in Masters with Obi.
Well, yeah, but the kid won't go in the fucking tunnel. So
For now.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about some stuff that's been bubbling up on the internet.
I know the agility drama has been like drama-ing.
Oh yeah,
right now.
Facebook has been a little unhinged, I would
The
say.
tea has been teeing.
I feel like something that I have been seeing a lot, which is so interesting and feels like a very like mid 2000s things, is I don't know another word for it, but it's like used to be called subtweeting. Like it's like people making these vague posts that are clearly about someone else's posts, like subtweeting them and being like,
gosh,
when people
it's like
do
bag
this,
booking.
yeah, no, vague booking is no, vague booking is being like, pray for me, like I'm going through something.
yeah.
Like subtweeting is like, if someone makes a post where it seems like they're using Chat GPT and blah, 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 and it's like, wow, we all know who you're talking about. Like, it's like,
No,
you're
no,
clearly
I see what
talking
you- yeah,
about
yeah,
someone
yeah.
else's post
Yeah.
without naming them. And it's just entertaining, but also I think it's part of an interesting conversation about like basically aversives and negative reinforcement training and balance training and that place in sports and all that good stuff. So obviously we're agility people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in agility communities primarily are force-free trainers.
Yeah.
But something has popped up recently, which is like a very well-known agility handler trainer, former world team member, and I would say like public figure.
I would say,
Daisy Peel, we will name her, has been open in podcasts and blogs and social media about some, workshops and belief system around what her training philosophy is.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to say that I feel like an expert on this topic. So
No.
I think we just want to start there by saying like,
I think we all are in agreement. So this is our opinion, and like none of us are experts, and
We're not dog trainers, like professional dog trainers. We're just three bitches that like to yap together.
And I think like what's true is that like a lot of the community who is absorbing all of this media and posting and videos and all that are just regular people.
Yeah.
But a lot of the conversation tends to get really, really technical quickly in like this language of psychology.
Yeah.
And like, classical conditioning and operant conditioning and all those things that I haven't thought about since I was a freshman in college, taking Psych 101. But I think we also want to say too that this episode's not like attacking necessarily, but I think it's just interesting maybe to note who is the person who's at the center of this and what kind of attention they've received for those posts. So that's where we're starting. Just sharing like maybe our experiences and our opinions about these conversations that are coming up recently.
Yeah.
So I think it's emotional, right? Because I think a lot of agility people, and I won't say more than other sports maybe, but it feels like to me more than other sports are like all about the relationship with the dog.
Yes, I would agree with that. 1000%.
Agility?
Yeah, agility is like you do this to have a great time and be in this like supernatural connection with your dog.
We've
Like
talked
next
about it.
level.
Like when we run a clean run with our dogs, it almost feels like poetry in motion. It feels like a perfect
soul
dance.
connection.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
we
like,
did that together.
There is nothing I love more than at the end of a run, just looking at Obi or Cassie and just like doing my little clap and just being so happy. It's like that is
you
joy.
hear about some other sports where maybe like dogs are just kenneled all the time or they're just in a car like traveling from place to place like confirmation or flyball. I don't want to put all these people down because it's not. It is certainly true that people in all sports have good relationships with their dogs, but I just don't see, personally, I'm biased, but I don't see agility people like just treating their dogs like machines as much as maybe some other sports.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where some of the emotion happens, is that agility should really be about like the fun, the love, the drive, the motivation,
like building that bond together.
The intrinsic emotional state that the dogs need to be in to want to do that dance with you.
Yes.
So anyway, I think that we should just say from the beginning that like our stance as it stands today is that we don't believe in using aversive tools in agility training specifically, or really in dog sports altogether, but we've evolved.
Yes,
all
we
of
have.
us have.
We
So
all have evolved.
maybe we could like take a step back and talk about our experiences navigating through the world of like force-free training, balance training, and like where we all started and how and why our stances have evolved.
Yeah.
Lizzie, do you want to start? Because
I will definitely
you had
start.
the IG
Oh,
influencer
man.
experience of
let's
navigating
talk about
this world.
So, I mean, man, I sent Obi away to a board and train when he was about 6 months old, and he was trained on an e-collar, and I've never been quiet about that. I've always shared about that. And
why?
I was first-time dog owner, and somebody I went to high school with was a dog trainer. Couldn't sign up for puppy classes. Everything was shut down. It was COVID.
It was COVID, yeah.
I had no idea I had Obi.
And was he like pretty pushy as a puppy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's...
As he is.
Recall was really hard too.
Yeah, recall. He just wouldn't come. So I reached out to her, set up a 2-week board and train, and sent him off. And when we dropped him off, Henry and I immediately started sobbing. It was like the saddest day of our lives.
Wait. Sorry. Do you feel like in retrospect, maybe some of it was Obi, but some of it was just you being a first-time dog trainer, not knowing how to teach a recall or respond to?
But how was I supposed to know?
You never even grew up with dogs.
What you don't know. Yeah.
And I couldn't even sign up for I wanted to do puppy classes in person.
Right.
I just had no option.
Wow. I wonder how many people that happened to during COVID.
Could not if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So
okay. So yeah, how did it go?
Sent him away, came back.
And are all board and trains e-collar training? Is that like
I would
generally?
say, I mean,
most of them I know of are.
I would say that if you do a board and train, almost all of them are
How much does it cost?
Oh, gosh.
They're like mad expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, so since she was like a friend, she gave me a discount, but it was a pretty penny.
Like over $1,000?
It was probably, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And do you feel like, and I'm not saying for this person specifically, but do you feel like in general, they kind of make a lot of promises? Like in 2 weeks, your dog's going to come back transformed.
Absolutely.
Will come when called. Will sit, will down, will heel, will everything.
It freaks me out when someone makes a promise sight unseen about a dog, because it's like, what are you doing that you're just going to like fundamentally change that dog in 2 little weeks?
So send him away, do a board and train, comes back. I mean, and we are told keep e-collar on dog at all times, 24/7. He take it off when he goes to sleep. When he wakes up, e-collar is on dog at all times. And I did it.
Did you feel like you were well educated in how to use an e-collar effectively?
And we had like an hour with her when we picked up Obi.
Oh my God, I think that's so fucked up. Because I think part of the debate about aversives is that like people inherently misuse them.
Yeah.
Like you might have a prong that's on and not fitted correctly, or you might use an e-collar in the way that makes sense human-wise, but really isn't rooted in any like actual dog training evidence. So that is like, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you.
I mean,
you
it
did
is
the
what
best
it is.
with the information you had at that time. But like to me, as a person who handed you that dog and that e-collar an hour, does not seem adequate.
So,
wait, I have another question. I'm sorry. Do you feel like you had insight into exactly what happened during those 2 weeks?
No,
like, does
not
it
fully.
Worry you?
I mean, I don't think I would. No, I wouldn't
we trusted her as a person.
Her dog. I see pictures of her dogs. Like I would get sent videos. I know that he wasn't like mistreated.
Yeah.
She would take him out on hikes with all her other dogs and stuff. So like
Josh's uncle had a rescue lab German Shepherd mix, standard, like goofy, bouncy, crazy puppy. Send him to a board and train, and like he came back just like a shell of a dog.
I mean, so that's where I'm getting at. Like, definitely came back, and he was like very, I want to say almost compliant, like
subdued.
Oh yeah, but like now where I am today in like, let's fast forward and I'll go back a little bit, but like we don't use the e-collar on Obi because I think Obi shuts down when you use the e-collar on him. Obi actually listens a lot better without an e-collar. Obi recalls to us without an e-collar. Like he is a great recall. Like, did he need the e-collar to recall? Probably not. Like,
Yeah.
he probably just needed a lot of reinforcement or just a fucking cheese stick, if
Right.
we're being honest.
Yeah.
Like, anything, a piece of food. But we'll go back. Then I grew on Instagram and I connected with a balance trainer, and he's pretty big in the balance training world. A lot of people have heard of him. His name is Tom Davis, and he worked very closely with a company who makes e-collars, and I did a lot of advertising for them.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And so in turn, I got a lot of free products for doing advertising for them. And I did a lot of like lives and videos with Tom.
Wow.
And also other balance trainers.
And other balance
or
trainers.
other balance pet parents.
Yes, as well. And it was something that I was like, this is my thing. Like,
That was
I
your
am gonna go
personality.
hard. Like, I am gonna, like, this is it. Like, I
Mhm.
am for balance training, and like, I
What do
would
you
make
think
the
was, like-
reels and
What do you think was like hardest for you to swallow about positive reinforcement training? Or did you just not really look
I
into
didn't know.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
like, I didn't. The thing is like, looking back now, I didn't even give positive reinforcement training a shot because the only thing I did was
yeah.
send them away
Yeah.
and then be like, this
Wow.
is what I'm going to do.
And then because like you fell into that community on the internet, it was just like all you knew.
Yeah.
It was like you were like, I picked a sports team to support, but I didn't actually know that other sports
Yeah,
teams even existed.
existed.
And you were just like,
and I was
hardcore.
like, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
blinders on.
No,
like, this is it.
My story starts similarly. So yeah, continue. This is very interesting.
So I, then I get Cassie, right? And we put him on the prong collar. We did a little bit of like e-collar stuff. But again, like, they're not dogs that really need e-collars.
And by this point, you were like very, very into agility.
Oh, yeah.
And were
Yeah.
you finding that the agility people who you met were like a lot more positive?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing too, is like, before I got really heavily into the dog sport world, like, I was able to use these tools all the time. But now I'm like doing dog sports and you can't use a prong collar. You can't use an e-collar.
Yeah.
So like, how am I supposed to rely, air quotes, rely on these tools to have my dog do these things, but like, you can't use them if you're doing all of these other things.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So that was like your first conflict of like, well, now I need to actually make him listen because of the relationship we have, not because
he has
like,
something around his neck.
Or that like, well, I think like the force-free trainers would say that it's like fear-based training,
right?
Instead of like positive,
and I will say,
relationship-based.
I don't think they're all bad altogether. Like, I think there's a time and place to use them.
Yeah.
But I wish that I could go back in time and maybe do things a little bit differently. But yeah, that's pretty much sums up in the short version.
Yeah.
My
Rachel,
story.
tell us about your then journey there.
So when I got Tessie, I think I knew I was gonna send her off on a board and train too, because that's what Lizzie did. And
that's so interesting because she's such a like kind little cute,
tiny little soul.
I know.
Like I could see someone with an Aussie that's like Obi being like, he needs his ass kicked, like, in an ungenerous sense. But like Chessie is a sweet 20-pound dog.
I know.
I'll tell you my story then too. So yeah, continue.
So yes, we sent her off to a board and train, did the 2 weeks when she was like 6 months old. And then.
Do you think she came back different?
Yeah. It shut her down.
Oh.
Yeah. It really shut her down.
You're lucky it didn't shut her down forever though.
I know. And I actually stopped using it because I would recall her and stim her and she would just like be so freaked out.
Oh my God.
She like froze sometimes.
Yeah, she would like get scared.
Do you think you just did it because of Lizzie?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I also started doing puppy classes with her, like sports stuff, like way earlier than Lizzie did.
Oh, yeah.
And we were doing rally classes, foundation agility classes. I did
were
puppy
they all
classes.
positive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I realized that Chessie's the type of dog that like, she's motivated by food or toys or
Yeah.
even just working in general.
Yeah,
Like,
just
she
being
loved
with
it.
you. She just loves it.
And
Yeah.
also, she's a 22-pound dog. She's not going to pull your arm out of your socket
No,
like Obi
and she was
would.
always a great leash walker. Like we didn't really have to like, drill into her to heel. And I mean, I don't even, when I walk her, it's mostly off leash anyways, but
Kind of have to drag her along.
yeah,
She's always sniffing.
she's a sniffy little thing. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the e-call on her. It shut her down. It made her a different dog. She was scared. And then when we started really we were initially really involved in sports. So I just stopped using it altogether because what was the sense? I wasn't really using it at home. I only had one dog and cats, and she wasn't trying to herd the cats or anything. They've always been really great together. And then we would go to dog sport classes. It's not like I can pack that up and bring it with us. So I just stopped using it.
Yeah.
And just realized that like, if I kept treats on me when she was a puppy, she recalled perfectly. And I just would like really reinforce those recalls of treats whenever we were out. And now I don't even have to worry about her running away from me. Like I'm worried if I'm walking more ahead of her, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so early on, I was like, this is the way to do things. And again,
I feel like even when we first became friends, you guys were definitely a little bit more balancy.
Oh, yeah.
And I
think you also were a huge influence on us, too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
No, I like to hear that. Because, it's easy. Well, I'll just tell you my story, but it's easy to, judge someone and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys use e-collars. Like, fuck you. I don't want to be your friends anymore.
Right.
But instead be like, I was there. So when I was growing up, I grew up with 5 Rottweilers almost at all times. Like, they weighed more than me. They were extremely strong. Like, even with a prong collar, they could drag me. And just, me being like a kid walking my dogs for my parents, like putting them on a prong was just like a safety concern. One time, like a chow chow ran out into the street to like fight my Rottweiler, and he dragged me down on his prong.
Yeah.
I peed myself. Just fun fact when that happened. I was so fucking
like
scared.
Rachel at the open.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, that was happy pee. This was terrified pee. Like,
Guys.
this was like dragging my dog home with chow chow fluff in his mouth, like, and crying and being a fucking, So my dogs were strong. So, and like, that's just what I grew up. Like, you put a prong on a strong dog, period. It's like, you have that image in your mind of a Rottweiler with a prong collar around its neck. And like, I still to this day, like, I do feel for and understand like the small lady, big dog dynamic of feeling more comfortable walking on a prong. So it's like, I can empathize with some of the reasons why someone would use or need a prong collar. So then I grow up and I get Zuby, and she is, an independent spirit, not a highly trainable dog. She's a French bulldog, and I have her in puppy classes from the jump. And the first puppy class was just very puppy preschool, whatever. But then I go to a different facility, and like, first thing, they're like, prongs for everybody. Like, I get this like little
You get a prong. You get a prong.
miniature prong, like the pointy things are like little needles.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? But again, that's just what these like people who are professionals are telling me to do. I lived in Philly. I knew I didn't want to go to like PetSmart's pet thing. Like, I knew that like dog training clubs exist, and this is what I trust, and this is what I know. And I grew up with prongs, and like, I started taking classes there thinking like, oh, maybe I want to do sports or whatever, but I don't really know what sport. I'm like thinking maybe I was going to do obedience, which is just pure comedy now. And Zuby never learned how to heel. But, I just thought, okay, I guess like to learn how to heel, learn on a prong. And like, I just feel so bad for the days that I put Zuby on a fucking prong collar.
I can't believe you did that.
I can't believe I did either.
crazy.
But that's what they literally like handed them out in class and were like, here, pay us for this thing. You need it. And looking back, I'm like, I wish I had known. I don't know, but like, I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah.
And then I never got into competitive obedience, but I know like people at that facility like pinch their dog's ear and like scruff them, and I don't know even what else people do, but like things that right now like disturb me. And I'm like just happy that I sort of made my way out of that community, because again, it's like, it's what was presented to me by professionals who I was putting my trust in. And I thought, That's what you do.
Yep.
So then in my like sports whatever class, foundations of sports class, they pulled out jumps and tunnels, and I still have the video of Zuby like going over jumps and tunnels and me like leading her around with a piece of cheese with her prong collar on.
Stop. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was just like, you know, little baby jumps and a little baby table and a tiny tunnel. And then I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. This is so fun. How do I do this? So then the instructor was like, go to Y2K9. So I go there and like have to get an evaluation. I think it was the day before my wedding, which is comical.
Stop.
And I
you
like
would. Oh my God.
I like walked in and I like had the prong collar in my pocket because I know that like I remember reading something on their website about like prongs not being allowed, and I was like, can I use this? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Was it Winnie?
No. And I was like, sorry. Like I didn't know. I don't know. And like, to be honest with you, when we got into classes, Zuby was horrible. She zoomed around. She ran all over the place. We never worked off leash skills or the relationship stuff that it takes to have a good recall.
Yeah.
Now, would she have had a good recall? Who knows if I had known what I was doing from day one, but we didn't have the relationship. She didn't know about shaping. She didn't know about thinking. She knew about being like lured and jerked around, honestly, and like leash corrections.
Yeah.
Leash pops and told no. And I remember my first class, Sally was like, stop saying no. And like in retrospect, it's very funny because I felt like I was getting like negative training. Like I feel like I was getting punished for saying no.
Yeah.
And I remember being so frustrated by it, but no just would come out of my mouth all the time.
Right.
And now I say to my students, like, what does no mean?
Yeah, you say it to me all the time.
I'm like, dogs don't understand opposites. Like, yes, you're getting a treat, keep doing that. But if you just say no, they don't know to do the opposite. So if your dog jumps on you, for example, and you say no, you should really say off because that is a trained behavior. They don't understand that the opposite of jumping up is getting down. So what does no mean? Or people like their dog wanders away and they say no. And I'm like, no, say come or here or
give
touch.
them a command.
Like tell them what you want them to do, and instead of just giving them information that what you're doing is wrong. Now, all of that being said, like, I think that I've evolved a lot, obviously, to be someone who's much more positive training. But I still don't think that I could entirely call myself like hardcore R+ positive only.
I'm not.
Like, I think that there's a freakish nature to that community too. No offense. Of like being like so hardcore.
Yeah.
And there's also the concept of like not rewarding a dog is technically punishment. So there's like an element to even just maybe some people who would say, first of all, some positive people, like hardcore positive people would be like, not rewarding your dog is a punishment in and of itself.
Right. Yeah.
And I just feel like when you take anything to a super, super extreme, then that's not great either.
Yeah.
And I would say that like, I think in life, there are places where like some degree of corrections are appropriate. Like if I think my dog's going to like hurt itself, I'm probably going to yell at it.
Right. Like Obi jumping on the counter and trying to eat chocolate cheesecake. No.
Exactly.
Obi, no.
Or like if I think that there's a behavior, you know, in a puppy that I really want to curb. Like, I'm not saying I like hit my dogs or anything like that, but there's a time where like a stern correction, maybe a bit of a scruff or something like can have the impact to be like, that's absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
So I think that in life, I'm not opposed to some degree. This is just me personally, like some degree of having a firm hand when warranted. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will, like, I still use prong collars on Obi because he will, and especially when I, like, had my really shitty ankle, and then I'll use head halters at agility.
And then there's some people who are like, well, why do positive people think that, like, a head halter or gentle leader type thing is positive? That's actually aversive because it restricts movement and blah, blah, blah. So it's like you can almost make an argument about so many tools. But again, like I've seen head halters be really transformational for people who want to use positive methods, but have like dogs that are really difficult to control on a leash.
Yeah.
You know, after I went, you know, hardcore from prongs, I went hardcore to like slip leashes, which everyone is all about in agility. And then one time Zuby literally like choked herself and passed out from pulling on her.
Oh my
slippery.
God.
I mean, that was my bad. I'm an idiot. I didn't have the like stop correct, and I wasn't like aware. I was young. I was I was in my early 20s. I didn't know what I was doing, and like she literally at a trial like passed out from pulling so hard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, you know, there's again other elements to being intelligent, being well educated, having good mentors around you who are like helping you use all types of tools correctly.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I really just like transformed to someone who, in especially dog sports, am all about positive reinforcement, building that relationship. You know, of course, like there's boundaries and there's maybe a negative marker. Like I think sometimes a marker that's like, oops, try again. When Vision knocks a bar, I'm like, what happened? I point at it. Maybe if
the
he's
same thing.
really naughty, it's like, lie down. But I'm not like getting harsh. I'm not raising my voice. And I do make a serious effort to, when I'm frustrated, especially, not to be like getting worked up and yelling no. I mean, it happens though. Like we're humans. Like there's times where I get frustrated. But I really have to like make sure that at the heart of everything that I do in my training is about the love, the bond, the want, the need, like not my stress, my feelings, my negativity, my insecurities, projecting that on the dog in this way that makes it, you know, uncomfortable. Oh, and I'll also say, just like a little bit more about my experience is that I also have a dog that's like super reactive and has massive anxiety. And I went to a positive reinforcement only behavior vet, and she's prescribed him medicine. And that's another thing that's controversial is like prescribing medicine, but she's all about positive reinforcement. And, you know, he was on medicine for a long time. And then I moved to a new house, and we had a big problem at my new house with fence fighting. So I actually bought an e-collar for Kyber during that time. And I told the behavior vet, and she kind of sent me this like scathing email back and was like, if you want to make him like terrified and afraid of everything on this planet, then use an e-collar. And I was just like,
oh, wow.
You know, I was at my wit's end with like the fence fighting thing, and like he was getting like hurt through the fence, and he wouldn't recall when the dog next door was outside and everything. And it just was like, so, you know, at that time I had 4 dogs.
Yeah.
So they're all riling each other up, and there's problems and stuff. Like things were popping up, and I didn't know what else to do. And I just wanted him to have a better recall. And like, you know, I don't think it worked. I did think it made him even more stressed, even more afraid. And she was right. But I also still think that
you had to learn on your own though.
Yeah. Or just like, I think that there's a nicer way she could have said it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like,
oh, for sure.
I just felt like judged and not like helped. And realistically, like if I wanted to fix it and I didn't know what to do, maybe I should have had like private lessons in my house or something, but I didn't, and I didn't know what to do at the time. Like when you have stuff like that going on, you're just like, my yard is big. My yard's like for the suburbs, it's like half an acre. Like if my dogs go down the fence, there's a long way down the fence, and I cannot get him back. So anyway, so
I think all of this is to say is that us ourselves are not super against aversives. I think where this is going to go, though, is that we are very much against aversives in the use of agility training.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we've all
in dog
used
sports,
them.
I do not think they have a place.
No,
at all.
No. So those are our experiences, and we've all used them at one point in our lives with our own dogs. So we can't say that we're explicitly against them, but I would never, ever, ever think of using an e-collar or a prong collar, any type of aversive in sport dog training.
Yeah. I mean, I think that at this point in my life, I would never use an e-collar or prong collar, period.
I mean, same. I agree.
I think that like if you are an extremely well-educated person with great mentors to help you use them effectively, there's
a time and place for it, and I'm not going to judge you.
Like for instance, our one friend, her dog is getting really old and is deaf, and she likes to go on hikes with the dog, and she can't hear when she recalls her, so she's thinking about getting an e-collar to
it has a vibrate function,
so that like it will notify her. You know, like there's a time and there's a place, and they're you know used correctly.
I've always been curious, like what is the actual argument against using an e-collar just on vibrate versus, the shock?
I think
piece?
people think it's like
less aversive.
or like nicer.
Well,
But
is it?
I don't know.
I have a story.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we can actually say, but Rachel has a story.
I guess I would just think like a vibration is just like like you're saying, for a deaf dog, like, hey, hello, you can't hear me or you're not paying attention.
Yeah,
Here's like a
it's like a
physical.
tap on the shoulder, like a nudge.
Yeah.
So, I had someone watch Chessie, and I'm not saying it was anyone's fault, but she was on her e-collar when the person was watching her, and I know that she uses a different brand of e-collar than I was using on Chess, and I think she used the vibrate function on Chessie, and when she came home, I always have my phone on vibrate. And
Because she doesn't have an Apple Watch.
I don't have an Apple Watch. I have not gotten there yet. But my phone was vibrating on my desk because I was getting texts or whatever. And Chessie like ran out of my office like a fucking bullet.
Oh, just from the vibration.
Yeah.
Like,
And she wouldn't come back in.
wow.
And I literally was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I realized it like every time she heard a phone vibrate, whether it was on a TV show or a movie or my actual real phone or Ian's phone,
She had this aversive
freaked
reaction.
the fuck out.
Well,
And so we had to I had to literally
like counter condition
yeah,
her with
how
a
to-
wow.
yeah. So
with your vibrator, just
with-
kidding. With saying
yeah,
the
with the
vibrator.
vibrator.
Anytime she heard Rachel with her vibrator, she freaked out.
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
No, so the vibrate function on the e-collar actually had a more reverse reaction to Chessie than the actual stem.
Interesting.
And I had to it took me a while, not a while, but
Yeah.
it took me some time to fix that. And I was very unhappy.
I'm interested in the science behind if there is a way to responsibly use just a vibrate function on an e-collar without creating a fear response. I just don't know. I'm genuinely
neither do
I don't
I.
know.
It'd be something to look into a
Because
little
who's
bit more.
to say it wouldn't scare a dog more than something else,
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah. So, in general, I guess the theories in agility is that aversives are dangerous in this sport because agility requires your dog to think and be independent and be committed and do things without you and solve problems at a high pace.
Yeah.
And if you use aversives, maybe you're going to get them to be more risk averse. They don't want to be wrong. They're scared. They're going to slow down. They're going to lose their
shut
confidence.
down.
They're going to be hesitant or checking in with you. I mean, there's people out there who have said that some trainers who use aversives, it's their dogs are visibly stressed or afraid of them or flinching when they come near them. And that to me is heart-wrenching because our dogs are playing this sport for us.
Again, it's a game.
It's a game. Yeah,
It's a game.
that's the thing.
Fucking game.
That's why I'm okay, if you need something to make your life manageable with a dog that is a handful, but we are asking our dogs to play a game with us.
We pay money to do this. It is a hobby.
Yeah.
First and foremost, it is a hobby. It might become someone's career.
Some
but we
of
are
the things
asking our dogs to do this with us.
in this recent debate is dogs need boundaries and consequences and accountability. I saw a big debate on Facebook about the word accountability. And it's how are you holding a dog accountable to a game you're asking them to play?
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I can't. I could never imagine
it just
doing
doesn't
that.
resonate with me.
It doesn't resonate. It is a
And,
game.
There's some nice quotes about you can't punish a dog into brilliance. Or I saw one that another person we really respect shared, which is violence begins where knowledge ends. If you need to get harsh with your dog, is it because you are frustrated, emotional, or your knowledge of how to solve the problem isn't there? And that always stands out to me too.
Another argument that I also saw is that most of the time when the dog does make a mistake, it is the handler's fault.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So why the fuck are we going to use a tool to correct the dog when we probably cued them to do exactly what they fucking did?
Yeah.
It just makes me really angry that there's someone out there, Daisy's out there, speaking very publicly about this, going on podcasts, making Facebook posts and and so someone that's coming in who might live near her or is looking into training and being oh, this is normal, when in the rest of the agility world, at least in our area, it is not normal.
Yeah.
A lot of all of the facilities that we attend don't allow aversive tools to be used.
Yeah.
And it's not something that even the AKC does not allow aversive tools at trials.
Yeah.
So, and again, we're playing a game.
Yeah.
Like, if we're making a mistake, it's probably our fault to begin with. Like, we want our dogs to be able to, like, take risks and make mistakes and still be okay.
It's interesting because she went on a podcast recently and she had like this screen grab from the podcast where she is saying just that. She's saying like, you know, when the dog makes a mistake, it's usually the handler's fault. So it's interesting that you could have both that mindset, which is very common mindset in agility,
very
and then
common.
also
be like, but no, I need to use these tools to correct my dog for other parts of training
But
and
it's
agility.
hard to say. Like, I don't want to conflate.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly don't know if she uses or what she uses or what tools she uses. And like,
That's true.
there was then a Reddit post of, I thought the title was funny, which is like,
What's
just
up with Daisy Peel?
yeah, what's up with Daisy Peel? Which is like, God, I hope I never get to a level in the dog sport community.
I know.
But
Like, what's up with
Lindsay
Swartz
what's up
or
with Lindsay
what's up-
Hefner?
Yeah.
Like, why is she being such a
Unhinged. Why is she
flamboyant person on the
unhinged?
internet? So I don't know. I think that it was really interesting when these posts went around with Daisy at first because she's having this workshop and she's bringing people in to talk about the place for, I guess, balance training in dog sports. Was, you know, my interpretation of the title. And to me, I'm not going to lie to you, I think it felt a little bit like what one of the Reddit commenters sent, which was shock marketing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just kind of like, I'm doing something different. And if you want to come learn about it, come pay me to see these presenters.
And a lot of people on the Reddit posts were like, I won't give her a dime of my money because I don't trust
But
what
then there were people on the Reddit posts who were like, I went to it and like the biggest versive or like balance training thing was just like withholding rewards.
Yeah.
So to me, that's why some of it felt very like shock marketing. Like the workshop wasn't about like hitting your dog in agility, which of course would have been horrible, but it just, you know, wasn't something where it was really living up to this hype of being like so super aversive.
Yeah. Yes.
But then there were a lot of commenters on Reddit who were citing their personal stories of working with her or watching her work with dogs who she truly made terrified.
Yeah.
Or
We read
she
a lot of them.
told people that they need to give their dog consequences for ignoring them.
Or they bullied the crap out of dogs. Or, they're there.
I mean, I think this is one of the hard things about being a public figure in agility.
Yeah.
And being in a community where everybody knows each other and people have these massive philosophical differences and people have bad experiences. And then other people have said, well, I've seen her do this or I've seen her dogs do that. But
this doesn't feel like it's it. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, it just feels, like you said, shock marketing. Like,
are you just trying to make money?
Are you trying to make money? Are you trying to, like, just be different? Like, what is the purpose? What's the sense?
I also thought what stuck with me about her responses to people was just, like, deleting comments that she didn't agree with.
Yeah.
Telling people, like,
every post that, like, if, you know, these are my thoughts and my opinions. And if
my Facebook is my living room and don't attack me in my living room.
Yeah.
Which, like, again, I understand. It's her thing. It's her business.
Your Facebook. But, like, if you're going to go fucking put yourself out there, you're going to have to deal with the feedback.
And I also thought that the other, like, commentary that I found to be more challenging from her was just, like, if you want to know more, like, come to the workshop.
Yeah. It wasn't even like, didn't give you much information. It was like, come find out more.
And then also it was like, if you disagree with me, that's because you're not open to learning new things.
Yeah.
And I just think that, like, my perspective is that balance training isn't learning new things.
No.
Balance training, like, Y2 Canines was founded by Dev Norman and Julie Jenkins. And my understanding of the history, it was over 30 years ago, is that around here, there really was nowhere that was positive reinforcement. Because back in the day, 30 years ago, early 90s, everything was pretty, like, forceful, aversive training.
Yeah.
So it was like very radical that they were among the first people, like founding it with like Leslie McDevitt and other people who were doing this new crazy hippie, force-free positive training.
Wow.
And like that was unusual at that time. So to me, it's like, oh yeah, think about how like you could bring aversive tools or training methods or balance training or whatever you want to call it into agility. Feels more like a reversion back to the past. And
I agree.
I just would be disturbed if this was like a trend that we need to like make balance training like cool and popular in agility.
Yeah. And going back, I'm like thinking back to my earlier days in Instagram, and like when I did start getting involved in dog sports, I had a lot of people. So when I did start trialing and getting really heavily involved, people who followed me then wanted to get involved in dog sports. And I'm not saying I'm an influencer, but I guess I'm a little bit of an influencer. But
oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm not an influencer.
But anyways, so people would be like, but do you use the e-collar at agility? And I remember I would get that question all the time. And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, then what do you do? I'm like,
just can't
you can't use it.
Well,
Toys,
it's kind
food.
of like the concept of like just train your dog.
Yeah.
Like don't force them to do things.
Yeah. And it's funny because there were a couple people that I talked to that I was like friendly with that had started doing agility around or a little bit after the same time I did. And there was a couple people who would use like the e-collar at the facility because their dog wouldn't like stop barking in the crate, or like they used like the prong just to walk into the building because their dog and they're like, you don't do that? I'm like, no. No, I don't. Obi barks and whines every day, and it's just we deal with it.
But why do you still use the prong then?
I don't know.
Out in public?
Well, there you go. Something to marinate on.
Yeah.
Something to consider.
Okay. To be fair, on like a typical everyday walk, like if we go to the park, we don't really put a prong collar on them. I just usually use a slip lead, and we let them off. And then if there's people, we'll put them on the slip lead, and we let them off leash and put them on the slip lead. And
so where do you use the prong?
I don't really use it that much anymore.
Well, you just said you did still.
Well, we have one still, but I don't use it as much as I used to.
If we're going to like a brewery or a winery or something, we know it's going to be very busy. You'll put the prong on him.
Yeah.
But what if you like found a happy medium, like a martingale? Because when you put your dogs on a slip lead, they're always choking themselves, which drives me mad.
Yeah.
Or like a head halter, gentle leader. Like what? Maybe something in the middle so that you have some degree of control, but you're not using this.
I don't have a martingale, so maybe.
So you need more dog things.
Yeah, no,
Go
I'm
buy
not
more
allowed.
dog.
Nope, I'm not allowed.
Dog things.
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed.
You use the head halter on Cassie, but never Obi.
I have one for Obi.
But you never use it.
I know.
You just let him choke himself or put him on a prong.
He actually does really well on the head halter.
Yeah, so
why
don't you use it?
Okay, because I'm fucking stupid.
These are the conversations I have with you. And I'm like, why do you do things? And you're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways, okay, sorry. Back to the conversation. Rachel's rolling her eyes. She looks disgusted with me. Who are you disgusted with? Is it me?
Both of you.
Okay, good. Great. I love that. I love that for us. So back to the conversation. I always do think it's interesting that a lot of sports are like, oh, no, you have to use aversives in this sport. Like I was talking to this one guy once who does a lot of obedience. His wife does a lot of obedience. They're very, very good, but they also do agility. And in agility, they're positive, but in obedience, they use corrections, ear pinches and all that good stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, well, we're going to start teaching obedience here at our club, which is a positive only club. And we're going to have positive only training. And this person was just kind of like, well, I don't think that works. Like, you simply can't. And I was like, what do you mean?
It does work, though, because there's someone that works or does online classes for Denise Fenzi. And they won, I think they have like 4 championships or something in obedience. And they used to do balance training from my recollection from this video. Then second or the third and the fourth championship were earned with dogs that were positive trained only.
Yeah. I mean,
so there you go.
But it's like, it's so interesting for someone to be like, no, it's simply not possible. I'm like, so you're telling me that you can teach your dog to run full speed around an agility course and do all these amazing athletic feats with positive reinforcement only, but you can't get them to heel
or do a go
without
out
corrections? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I guess the idea is like, it's because of the precision required. And I think that's why agility started with like maybe a what's it called? A balanced approach, because agility, of course, had its roots in like obedience in Europe or whatever. That came from like German Shepherds were like the first agility dogs, like coming from this like obedience with more obstacle course. I don't know. That's just my understanding of the history.
I think that makes sense.
But anyway, like, why does obedience require some kind of like intense level of precision that requires corrections, but agility, which is just as intense but in a different way, not? Or like, there's people who do like bite work and stuff positive, or herding. Like, I found a herding place that does positive. One time I went to a herding workshop, and this lady who straight didn't know any of these dogs was just like hitting them violently in the face with like a rake. And I was like, what the fuck? And I brought my Shelties, and I was like, God, I hope she doesn't hit my Shelties. They are really not going to like that. And like, those are those moments where you look back and you're like, maybe I should have left.
Yeah, maybe I should have.
Maybe we shouldn't have sat there and watched a stranger hit our dogs in the face with a rake.
Yeah, but
you were like, she's a professional. She was like, she's like a big name. She's like a big deal, and who's going to argue with her? And of course, I'm sure she has her reasons for it. Like,
of course she has her reasons for
like,
hitting the dog.
You don't want the animals to get hurt. You don't want the sheep or ducks to get like mauled by a naughty dog. But there is a place near us that does positive herding, which of course some people would say is not possible. I guess just in general, I'm proud of us all for learning.
Yeah.
It's a constant
We've all
journey.
evolved as handlers, like from when we very first started.
doing these hair flips that I wish you could watch.
I have evolved the most.
Shut up. It's not a competition.
It's not a competition. No, but like I would say I'm very proud of myself. I used to be like so hardcore, and like now Obi is living his best life. And Cassie he's learning. He sometimes is still trying to chase a squirrel.
And your next dogs will be even better.
They will be even better.
Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
We get dogs, we learn more, we meet new people, we're influenced by different forces around us.
Yeah.
We have different motivations.
Yeah, I'll never put an e-collar on any other dog I own in the future. I don't want to. I've seen what it can do. I saw what it did to Jessie, and it made her a shut down little version of herself. And I love seeing her have so much happy confidence to do things together.
Yeah.
And
the trust and
that
the
I've
joy.
grown as a dog trainer myself.
Yes, you have.
And I know so much more than I did when I first got her.
Yeah, and she's the slowest girl on a walk.
I know.
Yeah, she doesn't need
so
to be
slow.
I know.
She doesn't need to be
hiking
zapped
with her and the
into-
boys. I'm like, Cassie,
Ma'am, she's got to be sniffing.
She likes to do her
oh
sniffing.
my God, it takes forever.
So I think all of us would say that the joy and confidence and trust that you get out of your dog when you're doing this sport with positive methodology is what we're here for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my dog to be afraid of me. If I ever thought my dog was afraid of me, that would crush me. That would break my heart. I want my dog to have boundless confidence and trust in me.
And love me.
Yeah. And agility really should build the dogs up, not tear them down, not make them afraid,
not shut them
have
down.
them shrinking away from you. And honestly, like some of the naughty behaviors, not even just like shut down or fearful, you don't see that as much, but like some, I won't say all, but like some naughty behaviors, sniffing and stuff like that can be a stress.
Yeah.
It can be a stress thing. It's
rolling.
It's
mugging,
like, are they having a
biting your mom?
It goes back to what I always say. Are you having a good time? Is the dog having a good time? And if not, you need to adjust something.
Yeah.
And maybe it's your relationship with your dog.
Yeah.
Now, there's definitely dogs that sniff and zoom and do things like that. And it's not because the person's being,
rude,
whatever,
unkind.
has a good relationship, but it might be worth figuring out like what is going on in your relationship. What are you reinforcing? What are you not reinforcing that could, help your dog not harm them?
Yeah.
So once again, just want to close out by saying the internet controversy was interesting to us. We are not experts, so if we use any psychology, positive training terminology
if
wrong,
we said anything out of line,
please
that is not
don't
on the internet,
crucify us.
please don't crucify us. We are just dumb bitches.
And like, this is probably one of the first times where we ever like
Named
someone, but also like she's a public figure who like has taken this stance and invited conversation about it. So,
and I feel like we've all really evolved and like
we've all had our own experiences with aversives, and we just wanted to talk about it and share our views on it and our thoughts and feelings. So, yeah.
So that's where we stand, and invite you to join the conversation too. And it's been fun watching the other like subtweety responses. Like, I don't know, one of my favorite responses was Susan Garrett kind of went live and responded in a way that I thought was thoughtful, and people thanked her. But then, people still came at her neck and were like, what if you had 150-pound something rescue that was trying to kill you? Would you not use an e-collar? And it's like, bro, that's not what we're talking about.
We're not talking about
I'd like to see you train a dog that's bit 12 people with positive only methods.
We're talking about agility.
Yeah, we
agility.
are. Other people are talking about other things.
Yeah,
and
we're talking about agility.
Positive training has its place in any dog training, in my opinion. But I'm not an expert there, nor am I in anything.
Yeah.
We're just dumb bitches.
We are. We truly are.
So thanks for talking with us, and we want to hear what you guys think too.
All right.
Well, that's a wrap on this week's episode. Rachel, where can our listeners find us on the internet?
You can find us at Bitches in Season on Instagram and TikTok, and on Facebook, Bitches in Season with a 1 in it.
Oh, stupid Facebook makes us have a 1 in the word bitches.
And you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye!